No Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, NBA Straya. How are you going? How you going? Are you right? You should be. Why is that, Jim? Well, it's Hump Day. Wednesday, May the 13th be with you all day. And basketball, give me the ball, cause I'm gonna dunk it, yeah! I am your host, James Clements. This is NBA Straya. I'm in Larryama Studios, and we got another interesting playoff game. It was pretty interesting stuff, I'll tell you that much.
Interesting stuff.
We're going to break down that Game 5. We also got a lot of sad news today, didn't we? Brandon Clarke has passed away. Jason Collins has passed away. Daryl Morey. That's right. Jared McCain got Daryl Morey fired. Ooh, Lord. Got some thoughts on that. Anyway, so we're going to do the game wrap. We've got That's Not an iPhone made no made. Spud of the night, better than Lonzo Ball. Got some the Unpopular Opinion of the Day, and OUTBACK TAKEHOUSE, where we're serving up a flame grilled take. There is also a Shane Heal Shooters Shoot Your Shot, Light 'em Up award, and a pick and preview for the single game tomorrow. And I think we'll close out with a Johnny Tins Furphy froth review, which is always fun. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Episode 1404 of NBA Straya. Let's go.
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gay.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Darcy Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Heal.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya. You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the shark attack.
You better watch out for the Wemby, the pissed off Wemby attack. If you're the poor Minnesota Timberwolves in that first quarter today. Geez, he had 16 points before you could blink. You better watch out for the Josh Harris attack as well if you're Daryl Morey, or more importantly, the Jared McCain trade that'll get you fired if you're Daryl Morey. Let's start there with the, what is it, Jim? How do you start every show? Oh yeah, it's some sort of daily whip around. Good job. Daryl Morey is out in Philly as your Presidente of Basketball Operations, which tracks because he's I don't know, the phrase fart sniffer gets thrown around a bit, right? And well, there's drinking your own bathwater, same sort of vibe, right? The telling of the media, hey, we sold high on Jared McCain, what, less than 12 months after he'd, had a major injury, was working his way back, was on track to win Rookie of the Year, and then you sold high on him by barely playing him. You're a moron, Daryl. What are you doing? So yes, there was a meeting with Josh Harris and David Blitzer, the owners of the Sixers, and Daryl Morey was Dunskies. The weird part is Nick Nurse is staying around, which is, in a vacuum, fine. I think Nick Nurse is a fine coach. He has some problems, but whatever. He's done a really good job with Maxey and VJ, especially this year. The tricky part is, if you're going to this, you can never do this sort of stuff ass backwards, and that's what you're doing. You've already got a coach in play. He's there. You've got a coach. That is a good coach. He's a championship-winning coach, Nick Nurse. But then the GM's going to come in, the new president of basketball ops, and they're going to go, I want my guy. I didn't hire Nick Nurse. And then you go through this 2, 3, 4 year turbulent, just dumb fuckery. And it just happens that the guy eventually shit cans the incumbent coach and then gets his own new coach, and then it all goes, and then you're like 6 years on and someone else is getting fired, right? Like, the Bulls just keep doing this. The Sixers don't. They did this already with Morey and Doc Rivers, and that didn't work out great in the end, did it? So, yeah. Anyway, Elton Brand's name will be thrown around a little bit. Pretty interesting there, but Look, I'll talk about Morey later in Nars. The sad bits of news today. Brandon Clarke, the 29-year-old big man for the Memphis Grizzlies, was found passed away this week. It was overnight, right? So, 7-year player, was drafted in 2019, was a beloved teammate, and it just, that just sucks. Brandon Clarke, 29, man. Like, it's just too young. It's brutal, isn't it? So, yeah, that's really, really sad for the Grizzlies, for his teammates, for his friends and family, and yeah, it's brutal. And the same thing with Jason Collins, the 13-year NBA vet, has passed away. He was 47. He was battling with stage 4 glioblastoma, which is horrible. So brain cancer, brain tumor, yeah, not great. He was also the first active openly gay NBA player. So we were in New York, living there, and he was signed by the Nets as this was all breaking. And it was like very cool to sort of be a part of that and sort of see how the crowd responded to Jason Collins. And it was like super duper supportive. It was awesome. It was really, really nice. And yeah, it sort of came out a little while ago that he was dealing with this, and that's really sad as well. So a couple of tough ones there. Not great. Just sad. Again, hug your mates. Other little bits and bobs. Giannis versus Milwaukee. Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see. Move along. Move along. Nothing to see here. The NBA concluded its investigation into the Bucks shutting down Giannis over concerns for his health. Remember that? And Giannis like, I'm fine. I can play. Let me play. And the Bucks are like, nah. You're going to screw up our tank. Didn't really matter in the end anyway, but apparently the NBA looked into it and went, yeah, no further action here is warranted. You're like, wow, that was pretty quick. How's that investigation going into the Clippers though, Adam? And he's like, what? What investigation, Jim? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. LeBron James and the Lakers got bundled out yesterday, obviously, to demoralizing sweep at the hands of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Since then, we've gotten lots of the LeBron James. I've never been a third option in my life. It's a bit weird. I do lots of different things. And like, I don't know, we're in this sort of weird situation where we will spend a large amount of this coming off season talking about LeBron and where he's going to go. And I don't know, does it really move the needle? It didn't move the needle this year in LA, really. It did a bit, but the big question is simply going to be, will he take less money to stick around with the Lakers, or will he try and get a little bit more cash from somewhere else and like end up in Cleveland or Golden State or whatever, right? And apparently there is interest in continuing their partnership there in LA. It's like, all right, cool. They did draft his son. But the big question for the Lakers is obviously the Austin Reeves signing. And there's also news that came out that Rob Pelinka, a.k.a. Rob Lowe, a.k.a. weird-looking dude, is having to hire a couple of assistant GMs. This is the, please don't fire me. Look, I've got 2 new hires. Good job. But Austin Reeves, so how much are they going to pay for him? That's going to be the big question this offseason, really. Luka loves him. I think Luka has thrived when there is another ball handler on his team. We saw it with Jalen Brunson in with the Mavs, obviously, and then you sort of build around that with just defense first, centers, wings, and away you go. But anyway, so Austin Reeves, defensively suspect, offensively a weapon. So I guess you sort of go, are you the Brunson? I think you are the Brunson next to Luka. And LeBron's like, what about me? It's like, get out of here, LeBron. Anyway, but the Jazz and the Atlanta Hawks are apparently 2 teams with known interest in snagging Reeves. So that'll be interesting to see what happens there. And yeah, the Lakers in general. There's just a lot going on. So Lakers, lots of balls in the air. Sixers have fired Daryl Morey. We'll see what happens there. We'll talk about that later in year Nars. But then we got a Game 5 today. Game wrap. What a game this was. Minnesota 97, San Antonio 126. Geez, Jim, it was a 29-point game. What do you mean? This game was actually rocking. It was so rocking, it was Moroccan. This was an absolute out-and-out slaughter to start by the Spurs. Place was going off its nut. Wemby ripped off 16 points before he could blink, as I said. And then he had 18 of the 34, I think, in their first quarter. It was crazy. Off his head. And then the Wolves sort of slowly reeled it back in. Ant-Man was playing really, really well. And then the Spurs rip off this other 11-0 run to start the second quarter, put the Wolves back on their heels. The Wolves have heels? they've got paws. Do paws have heels? I reckon they do. Just the back of a foot, isn't it? Anyway, place is going off its head. They go ice cold at the end of the second, so the Wolves sort of stick in it. But they couldn't quite take advantage. So they're still down by 12 at the half. It was 59-47. And Randall had shot 2 of 7 for McDaniels as well. Ayo hits a 3 to start the second half, and then boom, Minnesota off to the races. 12-2 run. They tied it up. It was 61-61. And from there, it was all Spurs. All Spurs. Harper's defense was absolute chaos. They go on this little 11-2 run. It's 83-69 with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. You're like, what the hell just happened? It was Dylan Harper's defense causing all sorts of havoc. Keldon Johnson actually appearing in the series finally. You're like, that's good. Castle was in foul trouble early. Gets a couple of buckets here as well. You're like, ooh. The turnovers, the missed shots. Rudy, just an absolute basket case in the paint, was not helping matters for Minnesota. Like, even trying to get entry passes to a 7'2" French bloke is just apparently impossible now. And I think it ends up on a 19-6 run for the Spurs to close out the third quarter, and it's 91-73. 91-73. You're like, what the hell just happened? And they just wrested control back of the game. They score the first bucket of the fourth quarter, up 20, biggest lead of the game. And halfway through, they've sort of pulled it back to 11 of the Wolves. And then Vassell hits a 3, Castle hits a 2, and it's back up 16, and they just cruised from there. The defense, though, for the Spurs is the thing that stood out the most. It was absolutely relentless at times. And sort of they are the ultimate young team, right? The defense feeds the offense. So when they're flying about on defense, you've got Harper, you've got Castle doing all sorts of great. Keldon Johnson blocking everything. It was not really on my bingo card, but Wemby was everywhere. He was awesome. And the Wolves just couldn't hit a shot. They went 9 of 33 from downtown. They had 13 turnovers, 39% from the floor. Randall goes 6 of 17 for his 17, 6 of 13 for Jaden McDaniels. And then you've got Ayo with 16, 9 and 4, 20 for Ant-Man, and just looked a little bit out of sorts because he's got 2 Spurs draped over him, it felt like at times. So he ends up with a 22 and 2. 22 and 2? No, a 22 and 2, Richie. And 4 turnovers. It was just a bit, there you go. The big one, though, is like the big French Spud. 4 and 5 in 23 minutes for Rudy Gobert. This stuff out there. Rudy. Oh. He stunk it up. He was just horrible. You got nothing from Terrence Shannon Jr. Mike Conley hit a shot early and then nothing else. And then it was basically bench time. It was wild. Naz Reid, he had 12 and 5. And you're basically staring down the barrel of like, oh, God, can they play Rudy again? Remember, like, if you go back to the start of the series, Rudy was the secret source of stopping Wemby. Yeah, it didn't stop him today. 27-17, 5 assists and 3 blocks for Victor Wembanyama. Took it easy on him. Got to give it to him, but he took it easy on him. 53% from the floor, the Spurs shot totally. He went 9 of 16, 2 of 5 from deep. Fox was really good, 18, 4 and 5 for him too. Sort of, considering he was questionable coming into this, he looked really good. Like, again, just a settling force. When Harrison Barnes is doing absolutely sweet dick all, Fox is handy. 17 on 8 of 11 for Castle. Despite his foul trouble, he was really good. 6 assists, 4 rebounds. You had Champagny go 8 points, 3 and 9 shooting, 2 of 8 from 3. He can't really quite get going from downtown, but you sort of feel it coming. You're like, oh. And you sort of feel like if it's in game 6 where Champagny just goes, today I remember how to shoot good from downtown, it could be all over Red Rover. He was awesome in game 2 where they waxed the Wolves in San Antonio, right? He went 4 or 6 from deep in that one. 3 of 7 in game 1. Obviously misses the game winner. And since then he's gone 2 of 6, 0 of 5, 2 of 8. You expect the worm to turn back to Champagny, I'm just saying. And if it's game 6, look out, Wolves. Vassell was really good as well. He had 12. Harper had 12 and 10. Harrison Barnes, Black Falcon, not much going on there. But Keldon Johnson, we put him on blast, and he responded. 6th man of the year, my ass. Bang, 21 points on 8 of 11 shooting. He was everywhere. Defensively was fantastic. 2 steals and a block. Couple of rebounds. He was awesome. And Carter Bryant, the minute when he forced that 8-second violation, yes, mate. You're like, oh, Carter Bryant. I can't believe they cloned Bruce Bowen. This sucks. Anyway, Spurs 3 and 2. Who was the NBA Australia Pro Performer of the night, Jim?
That's not a knife.
It was Wemby. Of course it was Wemby. Who else am I going to give it? He came out, he's like, I got suspended in the last game, and today everybody here is going to fucking pay. I don't know where that accent went, but it went. She went a bit fucking sideways on me. 27-17, 5 assists and 3 blocks, taking the absolute piss early. There was like an and one dunk that he had in there. He had like Rudy slide under him for a flagrant one, and he goes 2 or 3 at the foul line as well. I do like that they called that. But yeah, he was just, you have that moment in a game like that, you're like, how the fuck do we stop this? And like even defensively, like trying to see these dudes is like, they keep bringing it up on the broadcast as well. It's like, he shot it over Wemby. It's like, it is actually worth remarking upon that a basketball player took a shot and went over the defender. He was amazing. And it's just so demoralizing to come into a game like that where you expect revenge. And he did it to him. He absolutely did it to him. God, it was awesome. He was just, it was like a Shaolin monk flamethrower dragon. It was nuts. Fucking hell. Absolute alien shit. Yeah, pretty good, that Wemby. Does it go straight to the pool room?
This is going straight to the pool room.
It's a must-win Game 5 at home. I don't know. If he does that on the road in Game 6, maybe goes to the pool room. Who is Spud of the night?
Spud, 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 it is Spud of the night.
Rudy. Ha, 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 ha. Spud. He was so Spud. With 23 minutes for Rudy today. A minus 15 for Rudy Gobert. 1 turnover, 2 steals and a block. 4 points on 1 of 4 shooting. 2 of 2 at the line. So he ends up with a 4 and 5. Yeesh. And Terrence Shannon Jr. goes 0 of 5 from the floor as well. Yeah, it's a bit hit and miss, isn't it, with the Terrence Shannon Jr.'s of the world. He had 4 assists, 2 turnovers. 0 of 4 from deep. Bit of a tough one there for Terrence Shannon Jr. But Rudy may have played himself off the starting lineup. I'll get to that in a second. Who's old mate, no mates?
Old mate, no mates.
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 Who's got no mates today? That would be Rudy Gobert, who Reggie Miller at the end of the game was like, I don't know, Mark, you got to kick Rudy out of the starting lineup. It's like, shut up, Reg. But at the same time, you're like, I don't know. It is a weird one where he was so good early in the series, but this is always the Rudy Gobert conundrum. Like, your defense is very good with him. Your offense can hit these just giant French walls. And that's what they hit today. I think the inability to catch an entry pass or to like turn around and put the ball in the basket at times is a bit, how you going? But yeah, a bit old mate, no mates of Rudy just suddenly going, I thought that was the one thing that could stop the Wemby, and it turns out I am not. And you're like, no, Rudy, you're not. All-time Hall of Famer Rudy Gobert with the old mate, no mates as well, touching the microphones in COVID. I'll tell you what. LeBron James is the other one, bit of an old mate, no mates. This situation with the Lakers just feels like he's like looking around. He's like, man, remember when I ran this town? Remember when I was on the Heat with my best buds, Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade? And man, we were just, it was something special. And now he's like just this old guy. And he's like, I'm not looking at my year as a disappointment. That's for damn sure. I was put into positions I never played in my career before. Actually, in my life, I've never been a third option in my life. Oh, poor LeBron. The only thing that will soften those tears is the $1 billion that he has. Cry me a fucking river, mate. But yeah. Fascinating to see where he goes, but does it really move too many needles? I think it helps LA more than it hinders them if he stays or goes. I think you'd rather keep him. It's not exactly a deal breaker, though, which is crazy to think. Pantsing of the night. you want to know how much the Spud Rudy Gobert was a Spud today? Keldon Johnson blocked the shit out of him. Keldon Johnson quite literally pantsed Naz Reid as well, just like ripped down his shorts. You're like, that's a bit, settle down, Keldon. And Rudy got pantsed by the double block by Champagne and Wemby. They both blocked his dunk. And you're like, Jesus, Rudy. That's just, yeah, that's a pantsing. But the Keldon Johnson just like, whoopang. Get that out of here was very, 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 very nice. Finally, better than Lonzo Ball, Bronny James, and Ben Simmons.
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. We're coming for everybody.
Stephon Castle and Dylan Harper are coming for everybody. I don't know how the Spurs have just like basically taken the Duncan Parker Ginobili sort of core and like cloned it and made it better. But here we are. Because Castle was off his head. 8 of 11 shooting, 17 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, couple of steals and a block. Unreal game. In foul trouble as well. Didn't matter. But Dylan Harper, holy shit. Fellow number 2 pick, right? Along with Lonzo. Goes out and just has himself a double-double in the playoffs. 12 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal and a block. And I think the thing that stood out the most to me is like, we know that Castle is a defensive demon, but Dylan fucking Harper, he had that sick block on Ant-Man that really just sort of, in that third quarter, it's like this big sort of push. They slow down the Wolves just enough because of his defense. He gets out on offense as well. And they're going back and forth, and you're like, oh, God, he's good. And it's unfair that the Spurs have him as well. What are we doing? Adam Silver should have been fired into the sun years ago for not fixing this draft lottery stuff. But anyway, here we are. All right, there you go. That was a good one. Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle are just stupid. Right, let's do some yeah nahs right after this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Daryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're listening to
Australia.
NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
Do some yeah nahs brought to you by you. That's right, you can help support the show by buying your mate Jim a tin or a coffee. You can do that simply at buymeacoffee.com/NBA Australia. Very simple. The link is in our show description and our social bio, so go hit it up. Basically, it means that you get to join the exclusive Dead Set Legends Club where you get exclusive content every month, and it's fun. It's really fun. Basically, it's our Patreon, obviously, so sign up. You help support the show, keep the lights on, all that sort of stuff. And to all the Dead Set Legends already signed up, love you guts. So yeah, there you go. Buymeacoffee.com/NBA Australia. Help your mate Jim out. Right, yeah, nahs. Had a good one from Croft. Talking about Zoobs yesterday, how much of a disaster this was for the Pacers. He did offer a pretty nice little, like, how you going? Zoob Halley pick and roll has the potential to be almost Joker Murray level. Yeah, nah. Yeah, nah. Yeah. I mean, this is, I guess, the flip side of the Pacers being super duper cheap and trading for the super duper cheap Zubac contract, right? So you got the Zoobs contract, which is $20 million in the next couple of years. They didn't want to pay Miles Turner. We get that. But giving up the 2 first rounders, Benny Mathurin kicking the dick, we get that too. But that will all disappear really quickly. We saw Zoobs and James Harden last year absolutely carve it up in the pick and roll. We know that Halliburton, when he was paired with Miles Turner, like Miles Turner was dog shit this year because he didn't have a fucking point guard that is as good as Tyrese Halliburton. So Zubac will sing. He will be really good for the Pacers when Halliburton comes back. And it's also like a nice release valve as well for Halliburton to have a decent big man who can actually score. And he doesn't have to do absolutely kind of everything coming back from the Achilles. So, yeah, Croft makes a good point. The Zoob-Halley pick and roll will be very, very good. But I don't know if it's give up a top 5 pick in this draft as well as another unprotected pick and Benny Mathurin, your former first-round pick. valuable. But here we are. Right, does Daryl Morey get another job, Jim? Yeah. Because there are still some pretty badly run organizations out there. And like he has done some very good stuff. Right? The maxi pick, nailed it. Nailed taking VJ. A lot of his other moves, understandable in the moment, but I mean, the Harden trade was, I mean, the fact that Ben Simmons was out of the league in 18 games, like that's a swindle, right? To get James Harden for that and anything else. Like it's crazy. The PG, but the thing is, and this is the Morey thing. He's so blinkered by this weird, outdated concept of gotta have 3 superstars. And you're like, no, that's not what we've seen. What you need is like a mix and match roster that has an absolute super duper star usually on it, along with an excellent 1B. And then around them, you got to spread your talent, you spread your money across a bunch of really super athletic, highly specific role specialists, right? Like that's what you need. And Morey's like, I've got Paul George on a really big contract. It's like, you're an idiot. Jared McCain, he's not playing good for us. I sold high on him. You got pick 22 in a draft that falls off a fucking cliff at 18, Daryl, you idiot. Right? So, yeah. The thing is, does he get another job? Yeah. Should he? Yeah, nah. Not this same job. I think he's really good as the wonk guy. The other part of this, and I think Sixers fans will get it. I know Houston fans will get it as well. He just has to be the wonk guy. Like, whether it's as a consultant, as it's like a pure numbers dude, he can't be the dude. You can't give him too much power. He can't be the be-all, end-all guy because he's fucked in the head. Everywhere he's been, the culture, this everyone is an asset to me culture absolutely runs its fucking course. And everywhere he's been, the vibe completely fucking turns and shifts because he doesn't win either. So this approach, there's always a middle ground, and some nerds, like you see this all the time with tech nerds and shit, they just don't fucking get the human connection. You know? Joel Embiid just going, this guy sucks, I want him gone. It's not exactly what happened, but it's probably a big part of it. Like not replacing Jared McCain with another fucking player because Josh Harris didn't want to pay the luxury tax probably cost them any sort of a fucking chance at having a crack with the Knicks, right? In the playoffs. You probably wasted like the vast majority of Joel Embiid's prime because you make the Paul George move like too late. You make the Harden move and then you piss him off because you're double dealing behind his back. And Daryl Morey's a liar, according to a bunch of Chinese kids. But the vibes have been simply fucked everywhere he's been. Those locker rooms, the organizational vibes. And we can't underestimate just how big, like if you've ever worked anywhere that sucks ass organizationally, you get it, right? It's fucking brutal. It's a pain in the ass to go to work. It's just fucking demoralizing. And a lot of this time, like you get this thing with like a Daryl Morey sort of type. And it's like none of that matters. What matters is talent. It's like, nah, that's not fucking right. Because talent could be fuckwitted. And we've seen time and time and time again that really well-connected teams win NBA titles. Right? You can be like, gotta have 3 superstars. And you go, well, you can also, if you look back quite simply through the last decade of NBA title winners, you go, yes, the Steph KD, like Warriors, awesome. But by the same token, that's like a generational thing where Steph takes less money, the cap spike allows them to get KD. Draymond and Clay are drafted there and grow into like, again, superstar specialists. That's what they were. You think about Toronto. You've got Kawhi. You've got like a couple of other dudes, but he's like the one dude and everyone else around him, again, superstar specialists. You go on to the Lakers. You've got LeBron and AD. There's no third super duper star here at that point. 21. The same sort of vibe. When you go with the Bucks, you've got Giannis and you've got Jrue Holiday, Chris Middleton. Again, 2 non-superstar dudes, very fucking good dudes though, right? And then on and on and on. You go the Warriors go back in 22. You've got the Nuggets, and you think about them, it's Jamal and Joker, and then like Aaron Gordon, not a super duper star, but an incredibly important piece to what they do and how they fit around them. Same with the Celtics. You at that point had an ascendant Tatum, Jaylen Brown, extreme zinger meal.
Extreme zinger meal.
Again, not a super duper star. Drew Holiday as well, Al Horford. It's the collective sum of the parts. And I don't think Daryl Morey's really ever fucking understood that. And it's crazy to me that he keeps getting these gigs and like has never won shit. And there's a reason for that. So that's my vibe. Anyway, I've got another... It's a little precursor, I reckon, this year, And I was thinking about this watching the Cleveland-Detroit game. They're both really flawed teams, I think, Detroit and Cleveland. Both very good teams. But almost regardless what happens in this series, it's 2-2. We've got Detroit hosting Cleveland for Game 5 tomorrow. Do both teams this coming off season look at their squads and go, fucking, we're going to fix this? Yeah, nah. I think so. Because I reckon even if they get through to this like Eastern Conference Finals, we know that Detroit play the Knicks really well. Cleveland, but I think what we've seen on both squads is these glaring fucking holes. Detroit, it's the secondary shot creation. Cleveland, it's like a certain sense of toughness and wing defense and not being able to essentially... Like the weird sort of sense of redundancy between Allen and Mobley and also kind of Mitchell and Harden. But I don't know. So do Detroit go for MPJ? Did Cleveland go for Giannis? Like it's all in play, I think, this offseason. And I think they both kind of need to fix what ails them. I don't know. Detroit might have missed a trick this season. I reckon if they have that secondary better-ish kind of version of Tobias Harris has been fucking fantastic, don't get me wrong, but if you've got maybe somebody else there as well, maybe you've got a really good chance of getting to the finals. But anyway, unpopular opinion of the day.
Now look at me, please. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I don't know. Like this kind of feels unpopular. There's so much I fucking like the Celtics. Because there's so many fucking Celtics fans out there, and especially in the media, they always sort of dominate conversations, right? Am I crazy that thinking that Jaylen Brown for Giannis is fucked in their head? Right? Jaylen Brown, I get like the weird sort of back and forth for him and Tatum, but I just kind of almost think that the fit sucks, doesn't it? Because what are you going to do? Play Giannis at the 5? Like Jaylen Brown is almost being underestimated at this point. Like he's multifaceted defensively. He's awesome. And time again, we get to these points in playoffs where you're like, man, you just need a guy who can get you a bucket. Jaylen Brown can do that. Jason Tatum can do that. If you've got a couple of dudes who can do that, you're fucking laughing. That's why they won a title. But he plays defense. He can hit threes. There's playmaking when Tatum's not there as well. Whereas Giannis, it's like, yeah, the defense will be pretty bloody good. He's a fucking crazy pterodactyl. The playmaking, the rebounding, that'd be big for Boston, obviously, but suddenly, are you playing him at the 4? You're playing him at the 5? Suddenly you need more spacing. And you're like, oh, I didn't see this coming. So you fucking should have. It's Giannis. And if you don't have a fucking stretch 5, like that he had for so long with Brook Lopez in Milwaukee, but Giannis is also way older and way more injury prone. So color me a bit fucking skeptical about Giannis on Boston if that ever happens. So I don't know. I feel like every time I see someone talk this out, I'm like, why? Shut up. Right? So there you go. That's an unpopular opinion of the day, especially for Boston fans, maybe. I don't know. Let me know what you reckon. Jaylen Brown, Giannis. I get that Giannis is like a top 5 player, but I sort of feel like you might not be needing him there in Boston. Just saying. Anyway, Outback Takehouse. It's Wednesday at Outback, and you know what that means? That's right, Hump Day. We've gone into the deep, dark Outback, taken down a couple of feral camels, and I'll tell you what, they're tough bastards to bring down. Jeez. Oh. Anyway, you whip off the humps, skin them up, and then open them up, chuck in a bunch of whatever's lying around. I usually go a bit of mince, bit of coriander, some carrot, bit of celery, some tomato sauce, bit of mustard, whatever you got. Chuck it in there, light her up, seal it back up, chuck it in the oven to slow roast for a good 6 hours. And that's our Hump Day special, only at Outback. And today's Flame Grilled take is, there's only two places LeBron's going this offseason. Everybody settle the fuck down. It's the Lakers or Cleveland. But if LeBron really wanted to become an all-time legend, become the GOAT, he'd take less money and help the New York Knicks to a title next year after they eventually fade out against this Oklahoma City Thunder team in this year's finals. Only at Outback. That's a triple-pronged Outback Takehouse there, so LeBron's not going anywhere, but if he does, he's going to the Knicks. And they win the title next year. That's how he gets by Jordan, bringing a title to the Knicks because the Knicks lose to the Thunder in this year's finals. Jesus, a bit to unpack there, Jim. You're telling me. All right. Aussie Player Watch. This was the Jingles Watch today. I'm like, oh, they're getting blown out. Put Jingles in. And they didn't. Did not play a coach's decision. Put in Jingles, Chris Finch, you coward. Just saying. All right, how about a bit of a Shane Hill? Shoot your shot, light him up.
He threw it down. Are you healed? Are you healed? Praise the Lord, I'm healed.
Praise the Lord, for I'm healed. It is the Shane Hill.
Shooters shoot.
Shoot your shot, light him up award.
Oh, yeah. Rui Hachimura. So the Lakers bow out, but that also means we say goodbye to the greatest single three-point playoff shooter in NBA history. What's that, Jim? Steph Curry already... No, Rui Hachimura. He actually finished the season shooting 50% from the three in 15 straight games. But anyway, 56.9% in these playoffs. He is the all-time leader in playoff three-point field goal percentage, which is wild. He's also the bloke who came out and said, honestly, I don't like shooting threes. It's still not my thing. I don't really like it, but I just have to do it. So he, which is absurd, right? He is the leader all time in three-point field goal percentage in the playoffs. It's Rui ahead of Bob Hansen, Myers Leonard, Andy Nemhard, and Seth Curry. Not Steph Curry, Seth Curry. You've got Raja Bell at 6, Matt Bullard at 7, BJ Armstrong and Mike Dunleavy at 8, and the Duckman, Luke Kennard, at 10. Ahead of Kenny Smith and Buddy Hield. But yeah, Rui Hachimura shooting the absolute piss out of it when he doesn't really like shooting threes is funny as hell to me. And hey man, you're a shooter. Shooters got to shoot. Listen to Shane Hill. All right, how about a bit of a Patty Mills Game Day, Baller Game Day Twitter check-in. He did post a photo today, which is always nice. I like seeing photos of my Patty. I just missed my Patty. Need to get him on the show, don't we? Where are we? Patty Mills? Patty Meal? There are no limits where this game can take you. Competing in the Final Four at the Olympic venue in Barcelona was another reminder of how special this journey is. Deep down, it was hard to show up after hearing about Uncle Ian. Grateful for every chapter, every moment, the people we carry with us through it all. Lele's everywhere and forever. Oh, some great Paddy photos there as well. Good pass. Nails a 3. Looking awesome. King of hospitality. Wearing his shoes. Looking awesome. Love you, Paddy. Lele everywhere and forever. What a legend. Paddy Mills. All right. How about a game preview for tomorrow? Game preview. Thanks, Inadvertent Bane. Not a problem, Jim. How's it all going? Yeah, not bad. Cruising along. It's now a week before I go for the States. I have no idea what I'm going to do about the show while I'm over there. I think, as I said the other day, I think what I'll end up just doing, I've got a couple of little wireless mics, which I'll take over there. Try to do a couple of interviews, see how we go. I'll probably just do some little update shows here and there, just sitting in hotel rooms and shit after games. So, yeah, we'll see how we go. Anyway, Remember, you can find all of our picks over at Dabble. The link is in our show description and our social bios. We nailed today's pick. We had the Spurs minus 10.5. We also chucked an extra Wemby multi in there as well for 25, 14, and 3. And he had 27, 15, and 5. And 3. So that was pretty good. So tomorrow, Game 5. Detroit basketball hosting the Cleveland. That's right, Cleveland Cavaliers. I wrote this down, and I did this yesterday. Cleveland to Detroit, and I'm just like, minus 3.5 Pistons. So let's actually have a look. I have no idea what the actual line is. It is Detroit minus 3.5. It's almost like I do this for a living. Detroit minus 3.5. That is actually going to be my pick as well. I think at home. It's crazy to look back at these two Cleveland games where Detroit, in and amongst all of it, they blow game 3 with the 3 back-to-back Cade turnovers, Harden responding with 3 back-to-back made buckets. It's like they Freaky Friday'd each other. I don't know if they pissed in the same urinal or whatever, but yeah, weird. And then it's like they're up at the half in game 4. And then Donovan Mitchell has an out-of-body experience and ties the fucking record for playoff scoring in a half. Right? Jalen Duren's been a fucking shell of himself the last game and a bit. You had the Karras game in game 4. They blew that. Tobias Harris is a bit shit. Cade has been a bit, how you going in these last 2? But I think at home, if you get a little bit more out of Orsar Thompson, if Tobias Harris is feeling pretty good, and I don't like saying that sentence, if Tobias Harris is pretty good, fucking hell, what a world we live in. But I think at home, Detroit can steady the ship and get the win. So I'm going to take the Pistons minus 3.5. A little bit worried, but then you have that moment of realizing that Cleveland have not yet won an away game in these playoffs. So really, technically, they're still playing in the first round because the series doesn't finish until the home team loses. So Cleveland might just win the title by never losing at home. Or if the home team never loses. Anyway, I think the Pistons get this one. Give me Pistons minus 3.5. You get a bigger Duren game. You get a better Orsar game. If Karras and Dennis Jenkins give you a little bit of something off the bench as well, I think the Pistons can roll. So I just still trust that defense. It fucking completely gave up the ghost last game against Donnie Mitchell, but I still trust it. So I think especially at home, let's go Pistons. All right, and there you go. That's it. What a fun day. Sad day, but a fun day. Right, we'll be back on deck tomorrow for a quick show to wrap up that game. In the meantime, make sure you're following NBA Straya on Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, YouTube. We've got NBA Coffee Run every morning, dropping off the squids, popping on for a video, making, any last-minute changes, predictions, talking through everything, so go check that out. You can also get around Footy Unfiltrated. Myself and Jez, go jump on the podcast apps for this week. We had a massive technical screw-up that just... So no video this week, but at least we got the audio for you. So Footy Unfiltrated, my beloved Blues fired Michael Voss this week. Oh, he resigned. Sorry. Yes. And that means I've got some thoughts. So go have a listen to Footy Unfiltrated. It's good stuff. Very much enjoy talking footy again. NFL Australia with myself and Gaz, and Jim does Supercoach. That'll be going up tonight as well about the AFL Supercoach week. Naz is out as well, so big questions around that. Rate, review, and star and subscribe, of course, across all of your podcast apps and YouTube. Jump in the comments there. Make sure you subscribe. Say good day. Give us a wave. Just jump in the comments and say what you reckon. Send through any nars you want to as well. Also, support the show. buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. Help support the show. Keep the lights on. Big thanks go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song, as well as to House Hats, Josh Delarentis, Fascinator, Goldmines, Ramshack Alami. Good to see them on the weekend. Iowa Section, Green, and Dozers. They're behind all the tunes you might hear on the show. Smash them on your music streaming platform of choice. We're going to close out today's show with a Johnny Frost Firthy tin review. That's right. Johnny Tins Firthy doing a froth review. He likes a beer, so that's what we're going to talk about. All right, we'll catch you very quickly tomorrow, you dickheads. This is NBA Straya saying, look after yourselves, would ya? Hug your mates, and later, hosen.
We're all
Oh, g'day there. Johnny Tins Furphy here for the latest episode of Furphy's Tins Recos with your good friend Johnny Tins Furphy from the Indiana Pacers. So, this is where we knock the top off a froth and dive into a tin and let you know what we reckon. Okay, so let's get into it. Oh, right. So what have we got here today? Oh, thanks to the legends, we've got a Balta Cerveza. Oh, nice. That's a good. I love the look of the can. I love the yellow. It's just really nice. So let's crack this one and have a bit of a taste. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. It's like it tastes like the beach, but like one of the good beaches and not the shit ones where there's like syringes and dog shit everywhere. Like, but what else are you getting? Oh yeah, I can also taste a bit of Jeep interior. I can taste a bit of surf wax. Is that some spray-on conditioner to make your hair a bit sandy? Oh, I can taste a bit of a mullet and a mustache as well. But yeah, it's not bad, is it? It tastes, I don't know why, but it tastes like we're going to see the Rubens play. But yeah, I really like this beer, Balta Cerveza, so it gets 10 out of 10 from me, Johnny Tins Furphy. So, alright, that's a great froth. Alright, so there you go. I've been Johnny Froth's Furphy, and that's been this week's Tins Recos.